Hi, and welcome to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, your go to platform for ambitious women who are ready to take the business world by storm. I'm your host, Angel France, and each week we'll dive into the latest strategies, stories, and success secrets from the most inspiring female entrepreneurs around the world. Whether you're just starting out or scaling up, this is your space to connect, learn, and grow alongside a community of trailblazing women who, just like you, they are making their mark in the world of business. From personal branding to powerhouse marketing, from leadership to lifestyle tips, we've got you covered. So get ready to ignite your passion, fuel your purpose, and unlock your potential with Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. Let's make this journey together and turn your entrepreneurial dreams into reality. Hey guys, welcome. I'm here with Glenda Kroll. I am super stoked to have her. She's an amazing woman. I would not do her justice introducing her. So I'm going to let her tell you what she does and what she can do for you because she rocks. Go for it, Glenda.
Wow, I'm really touched, and thank you so much, Angel. What a blessing this is coming here. And for me, it's putting myself out there for people because I've gone through so many challenges through life. I've been down and up and all the ways around. And every time I went through something, I always kept saying to myself, nobody should go through that alone. And through most of my journey, I went through things alone. And that's why that is the one thing that always resonated with me. And I speak on so many different levels and so many different things. And for what I am, I'm a mentor, coach. I'm there for the women because, yes, I do help men, but for the most part, it's knowing what women are going through because I've been through it. And whether it's a divorce, yes, I've been through that, not once, but twice. The second time I was living with someone, a 14-year relationship, and that's another part of my story that we'll talk about. But so what do? Is I help women who have fallen in life. And I usually work with women 40 plus, although I've worked with a lot of young women, but women that have been challenged. And you know what's the hardest thing is when we've been challenged and we've been knocked down, the hardest part is getting back up. Because when something hits us, like you've lost a job, even when your kids are gone and you have to reinvent yourself, and that's one of my specialties, we've lost the faith in ourselves, the confidence, we've lost who we are. And I understand that because that was me. That was me after staying home for 8 years, raising two children. When my kids, by the time my kids were ready to go to school and go, that was 8 years. And at that point, I decided that my marriage was over because um, this was three kids in the marriage instead of two. And I wasn't happy. And when I started looking at myself, I realized that I was lying to my children, but most importantly, I was lying to me. So it was having to restart. And that's another whole battle that I went through. But, during that time, I lost myself. I lost who I was. I lost all my confidence because I had already been out of the workforce for 8 years. And then I had to restart my life all over. And then again, so I understand that fall and having to get up. And the last time that I had to get up, I was 50 years old. And at 50 now, I had to restart. I had to figure out again who I was because I was running another business that I wasn't going to go back into. So I had to recreate myself. And that was a horrendous time in my life. And, again, another part of the story, but it's starting all over. But here's the thing, when we start all over, we also come from where we've already been through. We have so many skills that we've done through the years. So we don't start from scratch. It's not like you're 20 years old and you're trying to figure out. For me, it was 50. I had many, many careers. And at that point in time, I had to remind myself of who I was, my accomplishments, the things that I actually did well, because we sit back and we don't treasure who we are. So for me, it's helping women get up and move them forward in their life, help them reinvent themselves. And also, what I've gone back into is getting involved in real estate, something that I started in when I did in my 50s. I started to recreate myself and I got involved in real estate investing. And now I want to teach women how to do that. So building your wealth as well. But first of all, it all comes from building us.
Wow. So I'm just going to call you the queen of reinvention for women.
Yeah.
That's it. From maneuvering us through where we need to go to changing in a lifestyle in life as a whole. And oh my God, if a woman could invest in real estate, what would that do for them financially and give them that freedom to move on, correct?
Totally. It changes everything because this is what it did for me. And that's why I want to help women to do that. And now I'm leveling up in my own life because I'm building myself a legacy for not just for me, but for my kids. So, what do we want to do in our lives? We all have dreams. And it's the sad part is, whether you're 40, 50, 60, I'm 65 now, and I'm proud to say that because I believe that we can keep on growing and keep on developing no matter how old we are.
Yeah, that is so true. Because don't we do that? I mean, my mother's 82 and she's got this brain that doesn't work like an 82-year-old. She's constantly like thinking of new things and inventions and everything. And I'm like, Mama, just go put it into play. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, she says, I'm too old sometimes. I'm like, no, you're not.
no, no,
You're
no. I
never
don't believe that.
old. You never are. What is your favorite age group to work with, or is it just women in general, or do you have like a niche?
And women who really want to help themselves. I have a background where I have two brothers with special needs, and through my life, one of the biggest things was is I always saw what they could do for themselves. And people that aren't willing to help themselves, I can't help them. So if you really want to start changing your life, maybe you don't know how, you don't need to know how. That's the whole secret of it all. But it's the person who just desires to have that change and is willing to do the work, because we got to do the work. It's not going to just happen. We can't just dream something and go, I'm going to become it. It doesn't work that way. We got to do, yeah. Well, yeah, I love my meditation, but hello, we got to do some work in there to get it moving. So it's just a woman who knows what she wants, or not just as much of wanting, but she has that desire to move herself forward. And that's where I come in.
Wow. That is amazing thing. So if somebody wanted to work with you to do both things, because I feel they go hand in hand,
They
what you're
do.
talking about, because reinventing yourself and investing into your future seems like that is like a meshed combination because women, when we're looking to do something different, we have to do both financial security, which real estate can do for them. Am I correct?
Absolutely. But it all starts here. And, that's what it's all about. It starts with believing in yourself. And here's the thing, if you don't believe in yourself, that's okay, because I will hold space for you till the time where you start to believe in yourself. And that's what it's really about. First of all, we got to focus from within ourselves. We got to love ourselves so we can trust ourselves, so we can start moving forward. And I understand that because that was me. I had to start to recreate myself. When I started doing that, when my life fell apart, I had to heal myself first from a relationship where, I was, I found out that my partner had been cheating on me, and my life for 14 years was basically a lie. And it took a lot of work with myself that I had to get through that part and heal myself. So I had to do the work on me first. And then I started discovering what it was that I really wanted. And that's when I went through and I started getting mentors and started working and started learning about what it is and how to start investing in money. And here's the thing, if people start saying, well, I don't have the money, stop. There's all different ways of finding ways to invest. And that's part of what I do. So it's all about, though, it has to start with you, because if you don't believe in yourself, and that's where we need to start. So it starts from right from day one, which means you.
That's awesome. So with that, believing in you, the question is how can they stay motivated and how do you stay motivated to have that belief in ourselves?
Well, my dreams are, like I'm a woman of my word and my belief. And my motivation is every day of my gratitude. So many things we take for granted in life. And like I've already mentioned about my brother. So my health is number one in my life. I am always grateful for my health, being able to stand on my own 2 feet. And people will go back, yeah, right. But here's what it is. 2 years ago, I had an accident and I couldn't stand on my own 2 feet. And I had to get my body back in again. And I've been through, at the age of 18, I was paralyzed and I spent over a month in the hospital and I had to learn to rewalk again. So when it comes to health, hello, I understand what it is. So for me, this is first and foremost. So, it's learning to balance and work within yourself. And, when I hear of, I'm not one for the medicines, and the doctor had said to me at that time, you're going to have to probably go through an operation. And I said, I'll get back on my feet. And I did, all on my own. And that was one step at a time. And I believe in baby steps. I don't believe that we have to conquer huge things. I believe that when we do little things at a time, they shift big things. So how do I stay motivated? I'm a walker, so I love to get out in the morning and start my day with a walk. I hold on to my gratitude each and every day, and I remind myself every single morning when I get up, I am the person who actually sits back and thinks of the 3 or 4 things each morning that I'm grateful for, and that starts my journey of moving forward each and every day.
Wow. You know what? That reminds me, I have a ring that I wear usually, and it says, the journey of 1,000 steps begins with the first step, or 10,000 step begins with the first step. And that is exactly what you're saying. 100%.
And that's all we need to do. And you know what, like, so part of what I also do in my coaching, we talk about your health, and because your health is your wealth. If you're not healthy, everything is going to stop. You can't do anything that if you're not healthy. So it's the journey that you go through. It's not just the mind, it's also the body. It's what you eat. How do you feed yourself? Are you active? All of these things come into coaching. All of these things are what builds you up. What's the use of having all the money in the world if your body can't move in, and if you become sick and you're not able to do anything? That's not what it's about. It's about having that love of life and love of yourself to move yourself forward. And you know what? As we get older, we only age if we don't look after our own bodies. As I already mentioned, at 65, I'm still going and doing and still walking, and like as I said, 2 years ago, I couldn't walk. And now I'm right back to my 10,000 steps a day, and I move and I walk and I do it within 45 minutes. And every day, what do? I challenge myself. If I want to push myself more, then I challenge myself with my time. The challenge is within me. It's not with anybody else. I don't worry about what other people think, say, or do. All I worry about is me and how I do, how I feel, and what moves me forward. And like I say, it's my gratitude, my family, and being healthy so I can help others.
And guys, if you follow Glenda, you will see her actually doing walking and talking to you while she's walking. It's phenomenal. So I've seen her so many times. I'm like, oh wow, what a great message. So I'm like, that has to be coming from her walking and just the brain just like clicking off and just going, oh, this would be a fabulous thing to empower other people about.
Well, my walking is part of my meditation actually, because things come to me at times, and I'm very much a person of believing of the universe, and there's somebody out there, that inner voice in you, or somebody out there. It's my belief in the world is, just doing good to others. I'm a believer of, just being there and giving of my heart. And that's just me. Like I said, I've lived a very difficult life. I have a lot of challenges in my own life because I look after a lot of members in my family, and that's what I do. So that's why for me, it's really important to be kind and considerate, because I've seen the other side of life, and people can be very hard on others, and there's no reason for that, in my opinion.
No, because we're all unique. We're all unique and we all have a special gift to give to everyone. And yours is definitely to empower and motivate women to be who they're supposed to be. Maybe fix a situation they're in, get out of a situation they're in, and earn some money while doing it because they're going to need that to move on.
And there's so many different things that, areas that I can help with. And one of the things that I, highly suggest to anybody who's watching, who's thinking, oh, maybe I would talk to her a little bit. You know what? If you want to make changes in your life, you got to take action. And one of the things that I will highly suggest to anybody is, I always am open to a meet and greet, a coffee time, whatever you want to call it. They will put a link, or there's different ways of contacting me, and just speak with me. I'm not here to sell you anything, and I don't want to work with everybody. I just want to work with special people, and the whole thing is the best way to find it is have a communication with me. Let's talk and see if nothing else, I'll give you some things to help you to move forward. And if there's a connection there that we can work together, then I'll make an offer, and it's up to you. I don't believe in forcing anything, and I'm not one to start selling you anything. It's, if it works for you and it works for me, then we're connected to each other, then we move forward. And if not, like I said, I give you some types of tools to help you to move forward in life, because for me, it is being out there to help people to move forward in their life and not stay stuck. We got one life to live. Let's enjoy it.
I'm glad you brought that up. So if you don't mind, do you mind telling them how they can like have a one-on-one with you or talk to you or just get more information about you?
Well, as everybody sees, I'm on my Instagram, I'm known as the Wise Woman's Word. And everywhere else, I am Glenda Kroll. Last name is spelled Kroll, and you can message me on any of them. Or I have an email called info@glendakroll.com. You can give me write me an email there, and then I'll send you a link to book a time with me. And like I said, if you want to change your life, you got to take some form of action. And I know, we all have that time of, we sit there and we play with ourselves. Should I, shouldn't I? We'll stop playing the should-haves and start doing something that helps you to move forward, because otherwise you're on that same hamster wheel and it just continuously goes around. So time does move forward, and we can only move forward if we push ourselves into taking action.
I like the should-haves.
Yeah, the should-haves. I don't like should-haves.
I wonder if you could get that as a book. Should-haves. That would be a good book. Should-haves. I
I
should
wouldn't be
have done this.
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because as women, that's what we do. We do
shit
do.
all over ourselves.
Mm-hmm. We do
Yeah.
should have. So, all right, my favorite thing when doing this is, what is your favorite book to read?
Many of them. I'm really a big one on self-help books. I really highly encourage people to read Think and Grow Rich. I come back to it. I've read it many times, but a lot of times I just come back to it and I just open it up places, because that's that's something, the message that I need to read. I just went last week to a new presentation of something that a mentor of mine suggested, and it was about the Tao and learning about calligraphy. So that's part of love and forgiveness. So I went to that Saturday night, and I was really taken by it. These are the learnings of learning to even be within yourself and the love. And we talked about this. I mentioned this already before, and I'm going to mention it more times than you need to really, until I get this point across, is, when I grew up and it was a woman that did things for herself, she was noted as being selfish. And, throughout my life has always been about others because of how I grew up. And now at this point, I have learned to do for me first, because when my glass is empty, because I'm so exhausted from giving and doing for so many others, then what happens, and it's happened to me, is we get sick. And if we get sick, we can't help anyone else. So we need to start learning to help ourselves first by, caring for ourselves, loving ourselves. Just look in a mirror and look into your eyes and tell yourself 10 times that you love yourself. These are the things that we have to learn to do as women, because we cannot give and teach these values to our children unless we learn them within ourselves. And it took me many years to learn that.
I'm going to go back a minute. It's because you said calligraphy, like writing. Oh my God, you
Yes.
must have beautiful handwriting.
It's not about that. It's the formation, what happens when there's a master, Gang Shah. He shows the writing, and when you watch and watch how the writing goes, that is actually like a meditation within itself. And a lot of the writings have all messages in them for love and prosperous and forgiveness. And when you watch all that, it sort of, you begin to fall into a meditation, and the messages that come through from it's really, I was so taken by it. And it's something that now I'm going to start learning and doing as well. Yes, I have good writing, but it's the flow of the Chinese writing and how it is done that has such magnificence. And it's, if we watch how our hands, and we flow around and allow our bodies to move into it, it's a whole thing of, our lives are supposed to flow. They're not supposed to be really hard. And so for me, especially in the second stage of my life, I've learned how to allow things to flow a lot easier. I don't allow things to affect me. I look at really things in life, because I've been through some very severe times, that, when something happens in your life, learn to look at it and say, does it really matter? Like, are you going to hold a grudge against somebody that's done something to you? Well, you know what? Even having a partner who cheated and all the rest, I forgave, because you know what? He's not in my life, so it's and I understand why he did what he did, because I went through and did the work and learned how, so I could release that anger, because it was only holding me hostage. It wasn't helping me in any way. So when we learn to let go of things, we allow ourselves to release all those other things that actually are harmful to our own bodies. I want a healthy body. I want to allow myself to enjoy my life, not to have that anger. I want to be with people who want to be with me, and vice versa. And the whole idea is to allow our life to flow. So instead of holding on to those energies that are going to hurt you, let them go. And the only way to let them go is you've got to do some of the work. And if you don't know how, again, reach out to me.
I love it. I love the calligraphy. I'm a dancer, so I understand the flow. So,
Flow.
yeah. Oh my God, that is so wonderful. All right. So, I love your book, Think and Grow Rich. What about music? Do you have a song that keeps you motivated? Okay, what is it?
This song started many years ago, the first time I was going through a divorce, and I never thought I was going to make it through. I had a very hard time in my life at that point, and I honestly had some very dark thoughts. And this song has come through and I still listen to it till today. It's Whitney Houston's song and it's called Step by Step. And it talks about being on a journey and you don't know where you're going and you're just going to take it step by step. And if you really listen to the words are phenomenal. And it is what this song has been throughout my life and will still remain till today, because life is, in my opinion, step by step. And we're not here to be in a race. You know, we're on our own journeys and it all takes amount of time. And we got to learn to sit back and just take life step by step.
Oh my God, I love it. That is a beautiful song too. Oh my God,
Yeah.
so gorgeous. All right, what about a quote? Do you have a favorite one?
I guess my best quote and favorite thing is just be more interested than interesting. And David Meltzer says that all the time, and he's one of my mentors, and I believe that's the most important thing. Ask people about them. Stop telling people about you.
Definitely. It's all about everybody else and just making sure that they're getting what they need. And I mean, by doing that, what happens in return? You're blessed in some fashion or form, and you're going to get what you need. So I love it. All right. So you know what, Glenda? Is there any other way that people can get in touch with you? You've already told us the wonderful, fabulous ways for Instagram, other social medias, and you have a website, correct?
Yeah, GlendaKroll.com.
Yeah. So you might as well just go to glendakroll.com and go find out what she's got. Guys, she's amazing. When you hear all of her stories, you're just like, oh my God, I can do this. I never knew the story about being 18 and 2 years ago, both times, not being able to walk. That is amazing.
Like I said, I've lived through a lot of major challenges throughout my life. And here's the whole thing. If I can do what I've done, you can do it too. I also have a podcast that's on Facebook, and it's Let's Get Real. And I love being real with people. And for us, it's about putting people on there so that they can tell their stories as well. Because the whole thing is, I want to encourage people to believe in themselves and then to empower you to move forward in your life. You know, life doesn't happen to us. It really does happen for us. And sometimes we're in a relationship that is not good for us, or sometimes we're in a job that doesn't really make us to be who we need to be. So sometimes we do need to make changes in ourselves, or even if you're in a relationship that's kind of dead, you can change it and bring it back to life again. There's so many ways of making changes in your life. But again, it's got to be, you have to make the decision of changing things within yourself to make those changes happen.
Yeah. Well, Glenda, thank you for being on with us. You are totally amazing. I cannot wait to see you in the magazine. You're going to rock it out. I love you, and we'll talk later. Bye.
Thank you, sweetheart. Bye for now. And thank you for
Bye.
being on here.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.